Arrowhead Game Studios, the Helldivers dev, their next title is 100% self-funded, but still open to working with PlayStation again in the future.
Oh,
not this game, fam. In the future. Let's dive in to see these words by Forbes.com. Paul Tassi.
Let's go.
So Helldivers 2 Studios next game. What the oh my god, what's all this shit? Get out of here, man. What the hell is this? Okay. Helldivers 2 Studios next game will be free from PlayStation partnership. Ooh, will be free from PlayStation partnership. That sounds like some
an anchor has been lifted. I mean, you can only imagine.
Agreed. So he says, in an era of struggling PlayStation Live service offerings, some of which will never see the light of day, a bright spot for Sony has been the huge success of Helldivers 2, the ongoing co-op PvE game where players band together to fight bugs, bots, and now rather smart aliens. Now, it's been revealed that Helldivers 2 has done so well that developer Arrowhead's next game is going to be all theirs. And there will be no more PlayStation partnership, resulting in one console exclusivity. Here's Arrowhead's Shams Georgiani on Discord. The wonderful thing is that thanks to the amazing support of you fine people, Arrowhead's future is quite bright, and we have the freedom to explore some really cool concepts that we couldn't have otherwise. Game 6, our next project, will happen the way it will happen thanks to you, Heart. Now, real quick, there's more to it. Understand something here. They clearly, on the PlayStation side, didn't receive much money.
Yes.
But we know that on the PC side, things open up a lot more as far as the dollars are concerned. And that right there, they had, I think, how many? It was like 12 million sold on the PC. It's like a crazy amount, right? They did a really, really good job on the PC. That right there is real money for them, right? They're a small team. They're not crazy big, right? I don't think they're huge, right?
Yeah.
So they are now free from PlayStation. Do you just think about that, yo? Like they're like, yeah, man, thanks to you, we're free. We're not stuck with those ass bitches. All right. He says the next game is 100% funded by ourselves. So we'll call 100% of those shots.
Oh, that's a direct shot, bro.
That's a direct shot, bro.
Yeah, this is
100%.
This is going to get luckily they can, go ahead and make these decisions. Sometimes like Square, they sign a contract where they're just locked in for life. So at least they're able to go ahead and they didn't do anything stupid where they can kind of take a step back and say, okay, we're doing this one on our own.
Yeah, exactly. So, and again, we'll call 100% of those shots. Definitely a smack up. Look, I mean, it's clear this dev is just like any other dev. They want their game in front of as many people as possible. And I'm sure to them, it annoyed the fuck out of them that they couldn't put the game everywhere. I mean, I just think that's it. So, I
mean, the possibilities, they saw what came in from PlayStation and they saw, how it moved the needle having the game on PC. And to them, it's like, imagine if it would have, went to Xbox, right? Or we would have taken a bag from Game Pass.
Facts.
Like,
It's just they don't. The only problem is they don't own the IP, right? And that's what. So just to be clear, that is why they're so happy.
Yep.
Because they're going to make their own game, and is not tied to PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
See, right now, Arrowhead Studios has no identity. So what they're going to bank on is the fact that from the makers of Helldivers 2, here's our next big game.
But
hopefully have
it gives you an idea, right? If you're competent and you see what could happen with a known IP, yes, it's not theirs, but can you be creative enough to make something else? When you're in that field, you will think that it shouldn't be that difficult, right? There are some that struggle, but it shouldn't be that difficult for them to go ahead and come up with something of their own. And seeing how they were held back with Helldivers 2, that's a situation that they don't want to be in with their own IP. Could you imagine if they did the same thing? That'd be wild.
Agreed. Yeah, I mean, that's what it is, right? I mean, literally, Sony has the power to be like, yeah, you guys are not working on Helldivers 3.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
That's a shit thing to be a part of, right? And I think that's why they're doing it. What happened?
Hargi, can you click on that?
This?
I suppose they can buy the IP back.
Oh shit. I suppose they could buy the IP back from PlayStation. I hear they're looking for money. Oh shit.
Yeah, that is possible.
I mean, it's not. I don't think for a moment that they would. This is the only goddamn game they have that makes money. There's no way they would let go of Helldivers 2.
It doesn't, to my knowledge, it doesn't have any in-game transactions though. So it's kind of like, you know.
Really? No, there has to be shit you could buy. I'm pretty sure that was only Concord. Concord, you can't buy stuff. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I've never played it, but I'm pretty sure you can buy shit in Helldivers 2.
Okay.
Like I would imagine. Well, now I feel like we have to Google it. Let me see. Does it say? Are there microtransactions?
You could. Voidlock says you can buy outfits and guns.
Okay.
In Helldivers 2.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
Maybe they won't sell it.
Yeah, you can buy super credits.
It's not pay to win. That's what it is.
Yeah, but people buy suits, they buy all that shit, they get new guns, and it's a PvE, right? So there is no pay to win no matter what, because you're not beating anybody.
I mean, the question is with PlayStation's new strategy, Helldivers 3, is that going to be on Xbox or?
Well, honestly, I don't know if there will be one.
You don't think so?
I don't think they would trust somebody else to make the game, being that this studio made both of them. But I think where the relationship went south was first the PSN thing had a very negative impact on people's perception of the studio, even though it wasn't their fault.
Yep.
And then also I think what hurt the relationship is Phil came by with the bag and said, hey, we want this on Xbox. What do we got to do? You know, you want a Game Pass deal, offer this amount of money. And I think it got really close to making it to Xbox, but I think PlayStation ultimately turned the deal down. And I think that Arrowhead saw how much money they could make working with Xbox and was like, yeah, we're not doing another game with these guys.
It'd be funny if they do if they take a Game Pass bag from Xbox next time around.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. If they saw if Phil came by with the Game Pass bag and it was looking really, because Helldivers was the hottest thing at the time that Phil tried to get it on Xbox. So I'm sure what he offered was pretty lucrative. So you see those type of numbers, I'm sure, it makes you rethink your relationship with, the other people who are kind of fucking you over with this PSN thing and then getting your game canceled in, so many countries, and because they were getting a percentage of those sales too for, developing the game. So yeah, I'm sure all of that played a factor into it.
Yeah, I agree. This actually continues and says, and then responding to a comment, wondering about perhaps anything negative about the partnership with Sony, which is not ending, at least for the time being. They said, no way, PlayStation are great. There would be no Helldivers if it wasn't for them. We're open to working with them again in the future. They are incredibly game dev oriented, solid partners. And this is just me saying it like it is, not blowing smoke up their asses. No, you're blowing smoke up their asses, but it's okay. It's okay. We understand.
Yeah, but you understand why they're doing it.
Yeah,
It's
because
like,
they want to say, listen, if they come out and make their own game and then it doesn't do well, you don't think they're going to want to go back and make part 3?
obviously,
Come on, man.
this is a way to kind of like break up and be like, it's not you, it's me.
Yeah.
But we can stay friends as benefits. You know what I'm saying?
What's that? What's that thing that the women say when they break? I need a break. I need time to myself.
Yeah, I need some time to myself.
Need to discover myself. What makes me happy?
That's wild. That's wild.
Funny.
I need to find out who I am inside. That's them. That's what they're doing right now. They're gonna find out if they can make a game that's exciting to people, not attached to an IP that already exists. Even though they're the ones who made it technically for PlayStation still. So there's no bad blood here. Arrowhead just wants to make a game that is independent and not reliant on a specific deal so they can call 100% of those shots. What this means is that whatever Arrowhead's next game ends up being will no doubt launch on PlayStation, Xbox, Switch 2, and PC at the very least, though it's unclear how long development will take. So we could be talking about PS6 or Xbox Series X2. Not sure what else to call that one. I guess they're going to give more context here. In January of 2025, Helldivers 2 creative director Johan Pilested, I don't know, said that planning and conceptualization has begun on the next game. Oh, that was already earlier this year. But again, that suggests that it is very far off. Helldivers 2 is a sequel to the original Helldivers way back in 2015. But it seems unlikely that whatever this new game is will take another 9 years. We do not have any idea what it's about, though it's almost certainly not going to be Helldivers 3. In the past, Arrowhead has done 2 fantasy games, Magicka and Gauntlet, and a modern shooter, The Showdown Effect. Dude, I have no idea. I mean, Gauntlet, like Gauntlet Legends, isn't that like a super old game?
You sound like some theme games that, didn't make it to console.
And I don't know what the hell the Showdown Effect is, so who the fuck knows? But so it's a wide range of possibilities, and now with more resources and freedom to do whatever they want, we should all look forward to whatever that is, and that is it.
Yeah, 2011, and there's a sequel.
I mean, I really love the way that the headline, Helldivers 2 Studios' next game will be free from PlayStation partnership.
Yeah. Yeah, they were Steam games. Magicka was a Steam game, and what was the other one? Gauntlet.
Yeah, Gauntlet was the other one.
Yeah. Gauntlet made it to PlayStation, but the rest were just PC games. Okay.
So they were all PC games?
Yeah, outside of Helldivers and Gauntlet, Magicka and the Showdown Effect, they've only made 5 games. So
yeah. So I mean, they really this is their only hit that they've had.
Yeah.
I mean, the first one was a mild hit, like a mild success, right? But this one is the one that they actually had a big success with. And I mean, it is crazy that they went ahead and made a game that, for all intents and purposes, could have been a huge game if it were everywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like if it was, everywhere and people would just be able to play it. No one would even thought anything of it. I mean, I haven't touched it myself, so I have no idea if it's good. I saw the videos and it always just look
uninviting.
like memey. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's funny to have a bomb randomly dropped on you and it blows you 50 miles away or whatever, and it looks crazy. But like, it just didn't look like graphically. It looks like they do a lot of smoke and mirrors to make things look good, but then when you look closely, it kind of looks shitty. And honestly, I just don't know about sitting there blowing up bugs time after time. You know what I'm saying? It's different if it's a mode in a game, right? So like Gears of War, famously, you know, they made a horde mode, and that was phenomenal when you wanted to play horde mode, right? But then if you weren't down for horde mode, you could just go and play regular multiplayer, play some single player, do whatever you want. So, you know, the fact of the matter is that having such like just a one-dimensional game for me just didn't entice me. Like, it just wasn't like, oh, I want to go do this, right? Similar to Pragmatic Eagle says, like Extraction. Exactly. Make it a mode in the game.
Not
where
the game.
I want to go play an Extraction mode. Cool. Not that if I turn on this game, that's the only thing that I must do is play this mode. Because then your game turns in just to a mode, and it's like, well, I'm not up for that mode, right? I could like your game and not be up for trying to play that type of game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like Division had a similar kind of extraction mode in like the dark zone, right? Like you would go into the dark zone, you try to get shit, extract it so that you can take it back with you, right? Like, that was cool because it was a choice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't you have to do this. You know what I'm saying? So, ultimately, that's the problem with it. This is why, you know, I mean, at least here, it did kind of take on a life of its own. Like, just the decoration they put around it did have a lot of people going. Do you remember, baby? Was it like on TikTok and shit that you think that you would see like the wives of the Helldivers? And
yes.
remember they were like,
remember that. Yes.
telling like, support your man. He's going into battle. Like
Yep.
it turned into like a real crazy.
It did. It got crazy out there with that.
Yeah, the marketing for that game is way too cheesy for me. Like, to take it seriously.
I mean, it definitely was cheesy, but again, obviously it worked.
Yeah, the game did well enough to attract enough players for them to want to bet on themselves, right? So I'm glad. I feel like everyone and everything is moving away from PlayStation, right?
Even the studios that have success with them.
Exactly. They're like, we can do better on our own. But who listen, who's going to get on a sinking ship, right? And be like, okay, yeah, let's go. Let's ride. I don't think anyone in their right mind is going to go ahead and say, yeah, this is safe, especially if you can't swim, right?
Facts.
I'm just saying, it's not the safest.
Yeah, it's telling, right? Like, no matter how you cut it, it's telling, because like you look at a studio like what's the names? The hell's the name of the Playground? Goddamn. They made a shit ton of Horizon with Xbox, right? Like, they made all the Horizon games, but they weren't owned, right? Like, let's remember, they weren't owned until I believe it was 4 that launched with them being owned, right? If I'm not mistaken. I think Horizon 4 was the first game they made while they were owned. And then 5th is the one that's like the first one that's fully developed while they were owned. But like, that was a relationship that they built where there was happiness, and they were like, yeah, we're going to keep rocking with you, right? Like, we're going to keep working with you guys and making this game, and it's great stuff. They're in the same boat, right? Like, is Forza Horizon. It was an IP that they didn't own. And they could have been like, you know what, we're going to go do our own shit because obviously we're really good at this. We're better than, turn 10 at this, right? So we're going to make our own shit and that's it. But, they didn't. They stood. And when they were going to make a different game or they had ambition to make something new, Xbox, scooped them up, right? Said, fuck it. Let's make this happen and let's do it. A studio like this, you would think that after being built up to this point, they might want to go ahead and, get bought, right? Like they made a shit ton of money. Now they can get bought. The studio, whoever owns the studio make shit ton of money because now there's actual value, right? At this point, they're the only proven studio to make a.
You mean that PlayStation would want to make that move and say,
exactly.
Let's go, let's do it. But that's what's crazy. Like this makes sense, right? Go ahead and lock it down.
But they don't trust them.
Exactly.
Right? They don't trust them. They rather take their money and risk it on a new game on their own than to get scooped up by PlayStation. And we know PlayStation wants to scoop people up. They've been doing it. Yeah. All these little fucking studios. But they probably try to lowball them and give them some shit money. Like, you guys made enough money. We'll buy you. And then you don't have to worry about anything. And like, the fuck we will. Right? The fuck we will.
Yeah, I'm about to say, you can see that relationship went to shit. So if they were purchased, they all be very unhappy right now with the state of PlayStation. Because if they were happy with how everything went, they would have just made their next game with PlayStation.
Exactly. Like, this game was a hit. Why would they not make the next game with? Why would they not jump on Helldivers 3?
Yeah,
because it was messy, bro. It was messy.
It's like Xbox and Moon Studios. Like, Xbox and Moon Studios relationship kind of went to shit a little bit, and Moon Studios went and did their own thing. I mean, they might say public facing that everything's good between them, but we can kind of see that it may not be as good as we would like, or we might have an Ori 3. Same thing.
Yeah,
PlayStation's not known for treating people well.
Yeah,
I mean, not really, because again, you see the results, right? Like, no matter what people say, the actions speak louder than words. And every major third-party publisher has completely abandoned the idea of taking a bag from PlayStation, right? As far as exclusivity is concerned. They all did it once. They all did it once or twice. Or like Square, they fucking locked in for God knows how many years and how many games, and they got burnt, bro. And everybody's gone.
They're not even really taking the marketing money like that anymore either. We're not seeing the big marketing pushes from Sony.
Grand Theft Auto. But aside from Grand Theft,
yeah, Borderlands took the bag, but I mean, we're not seeing it as much as far as
that's more like a Take-Two. Like, they did a deal with Take-Two. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they got that. They got the other one. I don't know. Did they get Mafia?
Old Country? I don't think so.
Oh, so I mean, I don't know, but they're definitely, again, people are actively moving away from them, right? Like, they just don't want to. And this is the perfect example, man. This is a smaller studio. This is not, I mean, I don't know how many people are in the studio, to be honest with you.
I would agree that it's probably a smaller studio. They've only made.
I just can't imagine that they survived for so long without any hits. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Obviously, PlayStation funded this one, but still.
Helldivers 1 had a very strong community on PC also. So that's probably what got them by, was Helldivers 1. Completely different style of game. It was top-down game, but it still did pretty well for a while.
Agreed. We do have the homie Do You K now, the Bro Boy Insider, with that $10 super chat. Appreciate you, homie.
Yo, thank you.
He says, I'm just wondering what the title of article would be if it was a studio that worked with Xbox. Probably something like studio not working on future game with Xbox, refuses to give reason as to why. Probably. Probably. Honestly,
and then the speculation, what did they do, right? What happened with Xbox? Why are they not going back? Like, this is all the questions, the random stupid questions that they would just tweet out, just to try to frame it a certain way, right?
Agreed. You know that's the way they always function, right? No matter how you look at it, they always function on making Xbox look like shit, right? And even when they are technically kind of talking in a way where it doesn't look great for PlayStation, they still coddle them, and they still just talk about it. Yeah, but they're still working with them. It's just right now this next one, right? Where
it's just an in between.
We know the way it would have went down had it been a different way. So, and then do UK now, Broke Boy the Insider, with the member for 11 months, man. Damn, bro, that's fucking awesome, man.
That's dope.
Says almost made it to a full year. Keep up the good work. Love all you guys, even some of the smart ass bitches in the chat. Nice. That's what I'm talking about, man. What a message. Listen, anything.
Talking about the gallopers that sneak in.
G-Maybe wants, the rest of the chat to know Broke Boy is talking about you guys.
Oh, shit. Facts. All right. Why So Serious said, did anyone check in on a pony podcast?
I actually, I did right before I hopped in. They were.
What were they saying?
Someone Astro Cyborg, they were having like little panic attacks about the live service push failing and only having Helldivers be the success. Bungie fucking up Haven. What's going on there? So, just complete disarray.
So they're in shambles right now.
Yeah.
They don't know which way is up.
They're just not happy with Sony, But who would be happy with them?
I was about to say, like, you were happy with them before now?
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
this is where they've crossed the line.
Well, you know why? Because they left them with the console sale narrative.
Yeah,
right? Before they had the
gone.
console sale narrative, and now it's dead. Now it's gone.
Yeah, they let too much shit slide, if you ask me. Like, when God of War was a PS4 game, like just a straight up PS4 game, like no PS5 graphical enhancements or nothing, like that's when you should have said something. You shouldn't have said something years later where now you're just like, I don't have any games to play. All I'm buying is Xbox games. All these live service games suck. Like, you shouldn't have waited to get to that point. Like, they were giving you signs all the way, but you just said, oh, no, it's all good because we're going to be getting better quality down the road. When Spider-Man 2 looked like shit, y'all should have said something. We said something, but a lot of ponies like, oh, no, it looks better. Like, no, it doesn't. It looks like shit.
It really doesn't.
So
100%.
Like, when I don't think people didn't really start speaking up until they showed that Gran Turismo movie trailer at their showcase. That's when people finally said, okay, now this is enough. But by then it was way too late.
Aren't they hoping for a summer show?
I think
I was gonna make it a topic one day, and then it just kind of other things popped up. But yeah, there for sure were people. I have tweets and shit bookmarked where people are like, it has to be coming. Look, 2020 it was in May, 2021 it was in May, 2022 it was in June, 2023 was in May, 2024 was in June. God damn it.
I don't think they'll ever have one again. I
don't think so, bro. They just don't have enough games to do it. It would just be a third party show.
For what though?
Because if you're gonna have a showcase, you gotta
embarrass themselves. What are they gonna do?
They'd have to have at least 4 games to show you first party to have a showcase. You can mix in some third party, but you need at least 4. you're not going to just like show like 2 games and be like, oh yeah.
And the problem is that if they got 4 together, that's 4 years of games that they're showing you in one showcase. What are they supposed to do next year?
And then that's it.
Yeah.
But let me ask you a question. Would you actually trust that those 4 games are not going to get canceled? So why the hell would you want to show anyways?
Can I tell you something? I think, honestly, the reason they're not doing any of this stuff, okay, is because every game can get it.
Oh, yeah. For
you know how Phil said there's no red line of what games can go to other consoles? Hiroki said there's no red lines to what game I would fucking cancel. So I think that they honestly, they're
to death.
I'm promise you, bro. I'm telling you, this is the reason why they won't do a goddamn show, is because every game is on notice. If they don't get to a point where that game is going to be good, I'm telling you, bro. Listen, right now, they haven't permanently damaged their image to most PlayStation ponies, right? Most of the ponies are still, oh yeah, Ragnarok was amazing. Spider-Man 2 was amazing, right? They're still glazing it, right? Yeah. But that round three is going to be something else.
Yeah.
Are they going to be able to show something that is going to be good?
And what, if you think about back to their last 2 showcases, what game from those last 2 showcases haven't embarrassed Sony? All of them has been an embarrassment in one way, shape, or form. Like outside of maybe Astrobot, because Astrobot, you know, while it didn't sell, it was a very good game. But like they showed off KOTOR, that game embarrassed them because it had to get canceled.
Facts.
They showed off Fair Games. Now that's looking like an embarrassment. Concord, embarrassment. Like every game that they've shown us has been an embarrassment to the platform because of how poorly it has been received or how poorly it is performed. Until Dawn remake, Days Gone, like all these, like everything that they're showing us is just, it's an embarrassment at the moment.
I agree, man. I agree. It's not looking good.
There's a pattern.
There is a pattern. You know what's another pattern? Zach Riley coming in 3 hours into the show and saying that he's first.
No, that's really what he said.
Boy, remember for 4 months. Appreciate you, brother. You're gonna have to rewind time to make that shit possible. Oh shit! This is how you cancel games. Pragmatic Eagle.
What happened? Read it again. I didn't see it.
He says this is how you cancel games.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Faction was also on the showcase stage.
That should be the showcase.
Oh yeah, they talked about it on the stage and showed
they
like
gave
a picture.
This is like a splash screen. So like everything.
Yeah.
Everything that they've tried to show you has been an embarrassment. Wolverine. I mean, the game hasn't come out yet. It's an embarrassment for different reasons.
Oh my gosh, where is that mess? They stopped leaking the footage, right?
Listen,
I feel like we haven't heard about it in a minute. Where's Venom?
Remember, Wolverine is the game that they said they want to make look like Hellblade 2.
Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, they still got some years to go. It got delayed to next year. Who knows if that even happens. But maybe that'll be the game that finally looks good, and they've just been cranking on graphics the whole time, and it's going to be a shit game, but it might look pretty. Who knows?